Hello and welcome to your piano lesson. I am Gabriel Ruiz-Bernal and today we're going to work on the first movement of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. All the materials for this lesson, the score with all the markings and a synopsis of all the concepts we're going to talk about today can be found at this link on the website right here. So download it and follow along with the lesson. So Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, the first movement, has three main elements. The melody, the broken chords that give the harmony and the cushion for the melody to travel on, and the bass. But the bass also has a very important role because it has a dialogue with the melody at times, and also it carries the harmony along and it gives it a lot of intensity. So the key to play this piece with direction is to keep in mind the balance of these three elements, and also when in the piece you have to give leadership to one element or the other. For example, in the introduction, we have the chords are going to be the protagonist along with the bass, but the melody will come later. So that's going to be the element that we are going to emphasize. Also, I'm going to suggest that when you learn the chords, rather than learn them the way it's written note by note, learn them as harmonic blocks, because that's going to give you a view of what's coming and where the music is going, and it's going to become much easier to shape if you know where it's going. For example, the piece starts like this. And then the melody comes in, right? Okay, so what we want to do here is actually see the chords. By doing this, now you understand where it's going. You also understand where it's peaking and where it's going to relax. Notice this. And then here. This is a climatic point, and then from this point on, you have a cadence. So when you are playing these chords, if you just focus on the notes, and you're focusing on these elements, you're missing the flow that has to have towards the climax and then towards the resolution at the end, right? So then when you know this direction, then it becomes bass, emphasis, cadence, and then move it to the background so the melody can have the protagonism. Emphasis, cadence. Okay, what happens now? Change of mode. So this is a very important point. So at this point, we have seen how the melody has been the protagonism once the intro has taken place. In the intro, the chords and the bass were the protagonist, but then once the melody comes in, it takes all the attention, and it has to be very clear in the way that we play it. Then, once the melody has taken place, then we arrive to this point in which the mode, the E major mode, here's the third, is going to darken to this. And it's going to turn into E minor. So the element there that you might want to bring up is the third. So you are coming from here, and now okay, so it's clear you're bringing it up so the listener can actually hear it with you very clearly. So now that we have arrived to an E minor mode, the character of the piece is going to darken a few notches. It's going to become more introverted. It's going to go through a few cadences, a few chord progressions in which it's going to try to lift up, and then it's going to calm down, and then it's going to reach a point of resolution where the melody will come back. So notice this. We came from here. Here comes the melody again. It's moving towards C major. Here it is. Bass. Cadence coming up. And B minor. Major. Alright? So all those elements, I want you to reflect them when you are playing. When the bass is giving the pull of the melody, when the melody is soaring above all the chords, and pay attention also to when you are playing with the modes, when you have a minor mode, when you have a major mode, and the change of characters, right? Then we arrive to an area where we're going to have a dialogue between the melody and the bass. So we arrived to B minor, changing to B major. So we are here. Major 15. Here comes again. Bass. Emphasis. Emphasis. Here comes, now we are moving towards F minor, F sharp minor. So here comes the cadence. And then the melody. Now we are in F sharp minor. So now the melody is going to move into ascending line, and it's going to go and then it's going to go down. So this shape, as it's going up and then down, we're going to humanize the melody. We're going to give it the sense of the effort that it takes for any singer, for example, or any instrument to go into the upper register. So if instead of being pianists, we were singers, and we had to travel from this register to this register, as we go up, we will be increasing the capacity of the air and then the energy with it. We're going to do the same thing at the piano. So when we are here, we are on measure 25. Okay, and we enter a different section now. So in this new section, there's going to be a dialogue within the melodic area where the chords are located. So we have this responded by, and then, so we're going to bring up all those elements. So here it comes. Now we are arriving to a section in which we're going to find arpeggios which mostly will have diminished chords. There are no melodies in here, therefore what we want to do is create a motion through the chord progression. By doing that, we are not going to focus on the individual notes, we are going to focus on the whole sense of the harmony that these arpeggios are creating. So it would be here. We arrive back to C sharp minor, the original key, and now there's where the melody is going to be. Now the melody is now ascending to E major, which is the relative major key of C sharp minor. So very smooth transition from one to the other. Back to C sharp minor, and then major, dialogue, from this point on we are going to now have a descending on stages all the way down back to C sharp minor, which is the original key and where the piece actually is going to end. And from that point on, then we will have a coda. So here's where we are at this moment. And we start descending. Cadence, C sharp minor. This is the actual end of the piece. From this point on, now we start a coda section. A coda is an extension of the piece. We have talked about this in other lessons where the piece is carrying a lot of energy and the piece ends, but it feels like it's ending too soon. So then it has said what it has to say, and then from this point on, it's going to extend the ending. So it actually feels like the piece is naturally coming to a rest. So we have arrived to C sharp minor, and here's the beginning of the coda. The coda is going to be formed by a number of 5/1s, 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 which is something that Beethoven does often in his symphonies. So he arrives, and then what he does to end is see? So it's very clear that the piece is ending. So how does he do this? This is how he does it. And this was our study of the first movement of Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. As I said before, you can download all the materials at the website at the link, and I hope to see you at the next lesson. Thank you, and have a good practice.